What is up, everybody? Today we have once again another video for this week. And if you look behind me, we have a vehicle that's in a little bit of a rough shape cleanliness wise. It's actually a pretty new car. It only has about 2,000 on the dash. It's a 2023 Ram 2500. Why is it here? Best possible option, of course. It is getting a paint enhancement or correction with a ceramic coating, not only for the paint, but for the wheels and the glass as well. This owner is making a very wise decision. Right now, it has some road salts, road film, dirt, grime on the paint, which is why it's in this condition at the moment. The owner actually offered to go ahead and wash it up before he brought it here, and I told him, not a problem. It makes a better result video anyways. So we're gonna do this. Like always, we're gonna do the cleaning process first, do a wonderful preparation, use our polish it down, and then coat it. So let's take you guys on for this ride. My last gun broke, and I ended up picking up this one from MTM. I picked it up at Car Supply's warehouse website. I also got the matching rubber tip, so that's pretty nice. So far, I like it. I actually like it better than the other gun already that I had, and it's pretty much more premium quality. If you guys might be wanting something like this, I'll put it in the description below. I think it's good to invest in some good quality products and tools for cleaning your vehicle. Like always, the first step is always going to be the wheels and tires. They are the dirtiest part of the vehicle. We want to make sure we get that first. We're going to go ahead and do this. Soft brush for the wheel face. This just makes it a lot easier to clean rather than using one tiny brush. You guys have clearly seen that this truck has some road salts and other grimy things on top of the paint. Now that we have finished cleaning the wheels, we're going to be using CarPro Lift. This is a pre-foam, pre-wash. It has a pH of 12, so it's very high alkalinity. This will strip sealants. If there was a coating on here, it would not strip that. A coating is much more resilient than a sealant or a wax. That's besides the point. With this high pH, if there are any acidic salts on there, it also neutralizes that. CarPro Lift will also lift up that dirt and grime, pun intended, of course.
Not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
But let's go and dilute this 10 parts to 1, and we'll go ahead and foam it down. You can see CarPro Lift actually lifting up all that dirt and grime on the paint as it's taking it down. It's turning brown all over. Yeah, there we go. You can definitely see it going to action, even in the back. All this dirt that it's pulling up, this is a pre-washing phase. So you see all this. If we were to go ahead and wipe this, we would create scratches on the surface. But by doing this, by using a higher pH shampoo or soap and laying that as a foundation, we can go ahead and lift up all the dirt and grime. Now we can rinse this off, giving us a much cleaner surface. We can refoam a more pH neutral shampoo afterwards and actually do a hand wash without worrying about scratches happening, because the majority of all this that you see has already been lifted up and rinsed away from the first step. We do this stuff right, we will have a much easier time doing the rest of our job. This is definitely a step I would do even if you're a car owner at home watching this and wanting to know how to wash your car. If you have a ceramic coating on your paint, definitely do this step, especially if you have a decent amount of dirt and grime like this. Now that it's all rinsed off, you can see it's 10 times better. Yes, it's still not fully clean. And of course, there's still water here masking it. So some people might say, well, it's still wet. That's why it looks clean. But going to over here, which is still in the lower portion, this whole area is pretty much dry. It's sheeted off of there. And that does not look brown to me. So you know why now that you need to do a pre-wash phase or a pre-foam, snow foam, whatever you want to call it, with a higher pH shampoo like that, is to make your life so much more easier. The truck is practically 80% clean. The shampoo I'm going to use in my other foam cannon and in the bucket is going to be Gtechniq GSF. In this case, this is GFX because it is the Christmas version. It has that Christmas scent to it. I know it's past the 25th, but you know, you can never be not festive enough throughout the year. The only thing left for me to do, because you have watched me wash it now, is to go ahead and do an iron decontamination and a clay bar treatment. I believe last video actually covers that pretty well. I have mentioned it and showed it a few times in previous videos. I'm not going to bore you guys in this video with that. I'm going to go ahead and just do it off camera. But again, you just want to do that step that way. It's completely decontaminated. Even though it's a new truck, you saw that it came in a decently rough condition, if that's a word. Is that a... my grabber's off. Decently. I'll meet you guys after I've dried it. I'm ready to inspect the paint and polish it. Let's take a look at some of the scratches. You can see some swirling right by the door handle of the driver door. There is some type of marring and swirling, even though this is practically a brand new car. In some areas, it's actually pretty good. No scratches, no swirls whatsoever. But that's not everywhere. It's the small things like this on the side right here. There's marring and swirling. Not sure if you guys can see that on camera, but here's the passenger door. On the driver's side, there is some swirling over here too. Again, not too deep of scratches over here, but still paint correction is needed. And for those of you that might say, well, why bother charging the customer for polishing if there's not that many scratches? It's a pretty new car. We, first of all, like I talked to the customer, want to get rid of some of the defects that are in there. Even if it's a new car, there's going to be some swirls that come in from the transportation process of the vehicle coming into the dealership. The dealership is not going to be perfect and make sure that it's going to be 100% swirl free. Polishing not only removes swirls and other blemishes, but we also do it to ensure that we have a completely clean surface. Even if the vehicle was completely free of swirls, that doesn't guarantee us that every bit of contamination is off. Even after the clay bar, even after the decon, even after the wash, there might still be leftover iron particles, leftover dirt that we just might not be able to see with our eyes. And that polishing step absolutely cleans it, polishes it right off. So we know that we have completely clean bonding between the paint and the ceramic coating that's going to go on it. Now, say a customer comes in with a truck like this, pretty brand new, or even not brand new, and it has many scratches and swirls. But in this case, if they come in with something like this that's relatively new, and they say, hey, I don't want to polish the car, I don't want to pay for that. Or in the case that it's really swirled up, they say, I don't really care about the scratches on there, I just want the protection. Can you just wash it and coat it? Sure. Of course, being a detailer, you have to inform your customers, hey, you might not get the results you want. If we're putting on a 3-year coating, it might not last 3 years if you don't polish it. We can't ensure complete clean paint because we're not polishing it. You got to let them know that. The best option is polishing if you want the most out of your coating and you want the maximum bondage between the coating and the paint. But if the customer doesn't want to pay for it, it's completely doable. There's nothing wrong with that. I haven't done it yet. But if the customer knows that they want that, and I tell them, hey, these are the side effects, this is the possible outcome, and they say, I'm fine with that, we'll go ahead and do that. And if you guys are wondering what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using Dr. Beasley's NSP45. This is a polish. This should get the minor swirls that are in there. If this doesn't work, we might step it up to something like this, the 95. This is more of their one-step, whatever you want to call it. It's like a compound, but it's not a full-on compound. It has diminishing abrasives, well, like a lot of compounds, I guess, but it doesn't cut as much as their compound version. This says Nano Surface Primer. That means this primes the surface for the coating. Now, typical compounds, the ones that I normally use on heavier swirled paint, are not surface primers. What that means is this has ceramic content. You won't need to use surface prep in order to coat. Typically, when you have normal compounds and polishes, they leave oils and residues after the polishing, so you have to go ahead and wipe that off with a prep wipe to go ahead and ensure you have clean bondage. In this case, this has ceramic content inside it. It does not need that. We just go ahead and coat over it, and it creates a strong bond. And for the pad, we're using the Rupes Yellow on our 3-inch Flex wireless. And for the bigger one, we're going to be using the Lake Country Orange CCS or CSS, whatever it is, an HDO version, with our Milwaukee polisher. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and polish this vehicle. If you guys are also wondering what's over here, we have another ram in for an interior detail. My helper will be here pretty soon, and he'll start that as well.
This polishing product is actually unlike any other. You can see that I'm doing bigger section than a traditional polish because that's how you're supposed to use this product. You can probably do half a panel, sometimes depending on the size, a full panel. If you don't spread it far enough, then it actually becomes harder to remove. So I like working in big sections like this, so this helps, but if I was using a more traditional polish, I'd probably split it into smaller pieces.
I just finished up doing this door. It looks actually super good. I mean, not much polishing to get like super deep scratches, but all the minor stuff, all the light swirling came out. This door has not been polished. You guys can still see the swirling as I am approaching it by the lights right here. But we're getting rid of all these smaller scratches, swirls, and unveiling this beautiful black paint. The ceramic coating of choice is going to be from Gtechniq. Actually, all the ceramic coatings are going to be from Gtechniq. The first one that I've applied many times on this channel actually already is Crystal Serum Light. This thing's absolutely phenomenal. This alone is made to last 3 to 5 years. Some people say 2 to 3 years. I say about 2 to 3 years. But really from Gtechniq, they say it's supposed to last 3 up to 5 years, depending on the conditions, if it's garage kept, how much it's washed, how much it's taken care of. But of course, you know, the lifetime of coatings is very debatable. It just depends on what the car sees, really. This is made to be topped with this. This alone can be used, actually. It's called EXO V5. It is also by Gtechniq. It is a top coat for this, but you can use it as a standalone. It can get you up to 18 months. So around 2 years, you can get out of this alone. So we're gonna have this, and we're gonna stack it with this. It's gonna work as a top coat, give it even more hydrophobicity, even more gloss and slickness. So that's what we're gonna get out of that. As far as the glass, we're gonna be using G1 and G2. G1 is actually the ceramic, G2 is the remover. You actually leave the coating on the glass, you do not wipe it off, and you use the residue remover G2 to go ahead and wipe it off. Then after that, the third step would be to use a glass cleaner of some sort to finally take off any of the residue. So that's pretty much the ceramic coating we're gonna use for the glass. The customer did opt to get all of the glass, not just the windshield. That way he can have a hydrophobic surface on all of the glass and he can be safe while driving in the rain because the hydrophobicity will allow the glass to beat up the water, and as he's driving and the wind hits it, it'll just fly right off. Last but not least, we're using C5 for the wheels. Again, this is also by Gtechniq. It is a great wheel coating. It's made to last 1 to 2 years, just like the windshield coating. This will protect against any road salts and other grime that the wheels will see. Of course, the wheels are pretty close to the ground. They will see a lot. So it's not uncommon to see wheel coatings possibly fail earlier than paint. Even if you have like a 2-year coating on the wheels and a 2-year coating on the paint. You know, you might see the wheel coating go out first because the wheels do see a lot. But the main thing is that you're protecting the wheels, making it easier to clean, making it easier to make it look clean for longer, but also protecting that wheel finish from any chemical etchings. So this is a great choice by the customer. He's gonna get the wheels protected. This being a new car, this is a great time to go ahead and protect all of the car. So I can't blame the customer. He pretty much got every single surface polished and every single surface ceramic coated. One thing I should also mention is the plastic trim will also be coated with this. C5, the new, not C5, sorry, V5, the version 5 of Evo. Cam, I'm stupid. That's a completely different ceramic coating brand that I'm talking about. One thing I should probably mention is EXO V5. The new version, unlike V4, can be used on trim. I believe at least. I don't think V4 could be used on trim. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But V5 can definitely be used on trim. So all the black trim pieces, I'm going to go ahead and protect with this. So not only is he getting the paint and glass protected along with the wheels, but he's also going to be getting the plastic trim protected. If any of you are wanting to apply this glass coating, I should also not forget to mention the front windshield. It's recommended you do 3 layers. First layer, 5 minutes. Second layer, 5 minutes. Third layer, 15 minutes. Then take it off. Again, not wiping in between those 5 minutes because, again, you're supposed to let it harden on there before you do the final wipe at the very end. But yeah, you want the maximum hardness on the front. But on the sides and stuff, you can just do 1 layer and get away with it. So that doesn't matter. But the front, for sure, since you're going to be using the windshield wipers, it's going to see a lot of abrasion. So in order for it to last longer, you're going to do 3 layers. The Harbor Freight stuff.
Yeah, you can just go. You just go trade it in. As long as you get the work, you just trade it in every year.
That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of this video, but don't leave yet because there are result clips coming up. I hope you love the results as much as I loved working on this vehicle. But as far as subscribing goes, don't forget to do that, of course, and hit that thumbs up because it just helps the YouTube algorithm. I'm always updating my list of video ideas, so if you have any more things that you'd like to see, don't forget to comment that below. Don't forget to comment anything that you think about this video, concerns, questions. I'm always answering comments. But thank you guys for the support and taking the time out of your day to watch this content. But this is Mickey from Your Finish Auto Detailing signing out.